Should be fine. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, for joining us on another episode of Starseed Activations. Welcome, Mary. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Welcome, everybody. There's like a little fly. It's like my starman is here. Okay, so ever so gently, we start off with an O. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay. Mary, take a deep breath. And one more deep breath in. Thank you. We ever so gently are stepping forward tonight, dear ones. We are the Star People. We wish to start off by explaining what an Om does. It energetically connects you to the thought stream in which we are now connecting each of you to. That thought stream allows for many questions that are being asked by multiple individuals to connect as one, allowing us this beautiful opportunity to co-create this question and answer together. We are also sending different activation frequencies into this energetic grid, allowing each of you to fine-tune your energetics and to release and receive. For tonight's energy is that of a healing one. We shall allow for any densities, any distortions to ever so gently remove. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People, for this beautiful channeling tonight. Thank you. Okay.
I had a few questions. I think there'll be easy questions for you. Of course.
Let's do it.
One question is, are we turning crystalline our whole body, or is it just our DNA?
It's the entire body. So we take a look at ring cell stones. A ring cell stone is located in some of the heavy meditators, like a Buddhist monk, for an example. Whenever we drop into a meditation and we connect to the 11th harmonic, which is the higher self octave range, it's the next octave above ours. That 11th harmonic is a crystallization of its nature. It then allows for that high frequency to fully radiate down into the physical body. The process of elevating your consciousness into a fifth density allows for a type of full crystallization to begin. Not fully, but begin. For each of you may still hold positive and negative polarities while in a fifth density frequency. That means that some parts of your biological form may not fully crystallize in their nature. When each individual fully holds love in every single aspect of their being, it shall then allow a 100% crystallization in their physical bodies. This then allows a rainbow body of light to fully activate and then radiate outwards the physical form, allowing for a shift in the outer civilization ring. For it shall also allow for a type of source frequency connection to allow for transmutation of any world among worlds expression. Each individual here is in their own world, literally, dear ones. For each planet may also be considered its own world. Every individual contains a different dimensional layering over the viewpoint lenses, which are located in your eyes. These then allow access into a particular density range of information, which may be different for each individual watching. For example, dear ones, when each of you co create a now moment together, you may all witness the same exact event. However, you may all specifically witness different parts of that event. That is because each of you are in your own world. Each world fractalizes inwards and outwards. One such example of this may be your microscope. For your microscope, dear ones, allow you to zoom in to the subatomic layers of your reality expression. That may go on indefinitely. For there may always be new technological advances which allow you to see another layer deeper and deeper and deeper. And yet, you may also look at your telescope. Your telescope is viewing different worlds and different galaxies. That telescope is able to go deeper and deeper into space, allowing an internal frequency shift to become part of your external reality. They got me good. I was like, what? That last sentence inside of my head, if you could see what was happening, I was like, what does that mean? So funny. Okay.
So, do they believe that, well, are we going to be fully crystallized in our lifetime? In this,
No. Well, they're saying maybe, because if you take a look at the human lifespan, let's say 120 years, right? In 120 years, if you lived out your entire 120 years and you didn't elevate your awareness into a 5D, then yes, you may not fully crystallize. But that is because you were still living and existing underneath the boundaries of time and space. However, the process of ascending into fifth density allows us to override time and space so that you can, and we're doing this now. We could do it now. It's already here. I could see it. You could see time, but then you can modify it. And then your perception is of the now moment. Now, what the star people do is, and they've taught me how to do this to the best of my ability, but it's to see and observe the now moment as if this is what it is. And whatever frequencies I'm holding is what generates my future time expression. So that means in any given moment, I could drop into a meditation, I can hold and radiate more love, and that more love then shifts my potentials of manifestation. We know this because all of the emotion codes that we have radiated, it allows us to pick and choose the emotion that we wish to magnetically align ourselves with. That's how this process works. Now, when we can recognize and we can identify, the happier we are, the faster time flies. That shows us that there is a component of our emotions that change or modify time and space. So, by that logic in itself, the second that we tune into 5D, we're really happy. We're holding more love inside of our bodies. It pushes into the cells. So, it's really about 8% of the cells in the body have to be attuned to the higher self's frequency or unconditional love. And when we hold that unconditional love, and I'm talking like the authenticity frequency, and it feels like love because you love yourself enough to allow yourself to be really, really, really happy. And when we do that and we push it into 8% of the cells, then all of a sudden we shift into the fifth density. That's the whole secret of the entire thing. Pushing the emotion and radiating it into the waters of the body. And the waters of the body suck it up because it has that component of magnetism to it, and it shifts your baseline resonance. And then that baseline resonance shifts the outer world perceptions. And that's because we literally are like a diamond. And the way our center soul tubule works, it is a light refractal system. What that means is inside each one of the chakras, there's 3 lenses. And you could just imagine them as 3 circles, 1, 2, and 3. And then each circle you shift like a lens. So it either allows more light out the front, which is love, or more light out the back, which is fear. So we have the 3 circles inside. The first circle in the center is it makes up your body. And it goes per chakra system. So if we're talking about the pineal gland, is your biological form and how does it look and how does it correlate to your astral body? That's how you see. So if we make a modification to there, we can either change the way the astral body looks, or there's different alternations that the star people are saying we can also do. The second ring is your location ring. So you can shift the actual location. Now, what that looks like is, let's say in my location, I have a blue pen. And now all of a sudden I'm in the pineal gland and I shift the light refractal system. The blue pen changes to red. That's the type of changes or modifications we can make to the actual physical world we see by shifting the light that flows through that chakra subsystem. These are the subsystems. These are deep within the biological forms, dear ones. These changes to the light refractal system allows for any modification to your entire civilization or your biological form or any person, place, and thing outside your body. For each of you is connected to the entire simulation. It works as a fractalization, meaning it goes on and on and on to infinity and beyond. And then it also dives back into each other. So it looks like this, allowing for an infinity symbol to then form in the energetic field. Each of you are going through different yuga cycles. This is a breath of life to a celestial being. That celestial being is your planet, as an example. However, the true celestial being's form is much larger than just one planet. There are different levels to unlock. These unlockings is a form of awareness that each of you are going to activate in your current experience to one degree or another. This means you may unlock it in this lifetime, or you may transcend this biological form and you may choose another. And in that lifetime, you may unlock it. For each of you is holding different manifestation codes. These manifestation codes are connected to experientials. These experientials are life experiences that come over and over in a form of a repeat. This then allows the primary individual to walk through the same experience over and over until unconditional love is held for said experience. A process of neutralizing each emotion may then be held in your baseline frequency in order to allow a complete transcendence of that emotion code. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People.
I have another question. The higher self's name. What does it mean when you know the name of your higher self? What does it do for you?
So it changes your resonant field. And there was a 333 right as I said that. That's so amazing. So okay, many of you guys watching have been watching for a while and are aware that I went through a name change. So many times your nicknames are given to you, and a nickname was given to me, but it is also my name in a past life, and the name was Ellie, but my nickname was Elle. And I was even going to legally change my name to Elle, but after a while of being called Elle, I noticed things outside started to change. So my people, places, and things were totally different. And it was like, whoa. And then the star people had told me that the timeline I was standing on was completely different because of the name. And they requested me to consider going back to Danielle. It was more in alignment with my highest potential for this timeline that I'm currently on. Knowing that, now what happens when we truly come to an awareness of the higher self's name? The higher self is who we are. That is your highest passion, your highest potential, your the most amount of fun that you're ever going to have. It is your higher self. because that is the frequency bandwidth the higher self is sitting in. The whole process of evolution here is allowing us to hold and absorb authenticity and allowing us to pull that higher self down inside the physical body and flower open inside of the heart chakra. So, and it's the higher self song. Now, when we truly can identify the name, you can even ask your higher self for the name. But I would prefer, me personally, I would prefer some type of I know what the higher self's name is, because the second that you know and you could feel it, you know when you feel it in your bones, you just know it's the truth. That's what I would prefer before, saying the I ams. I am, and then your higher self's name. Because if you pick a name that is not the higher self's name, it could cause, distortions in the frequency or distortions in alignments between you and the higher self. The star people are even saying. So, truly knowing in your heart, and you'll know in your heart, because when you hear something, you might get the shivers, the chills, or your heart may jump. It may like skip a beat. And what that is it's actually a heart chakra pulse. If we think of a heart chakra pulse, it's very similar to a save spot. It sends out an electromagnetic pulse into the outer ring system, which is your outer simulation codes. And it allows the person to it's like a solidifying of a timeline expression. Many times, dear ones, a heart chakra pulse may be manifest when two individuals come together who are soulmates. This then allows for the outside simulation to be imprinted with that new frequency from the higher self. For the higher self is always in full control of a heart chakra pulse. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Star
you.
People. Yeah.
Okay. You want to go to the pages now?
Sure.
The first
You have the
page,
book,
I
so
know
I'll listen.
it's page 66. It's the soul bonding into the physical. It's the keys to my ascension.
Okay.
There is a type of energetic bonding each soul form must embody in order to manifest into the solidity of the third density reality. This bonding allows for a spark of light to form at the exact moment of conception. This spark of light activates the binary codex frequency. The binary codex is the actual frequency selected for physical manifestation by the higher self. This includes all information that generates the physical body. Some examples are hair color, eye color, and main body template. This codex must always have the soul's primary signature encoded into it, which flows through our DNA subsystems.
Yes. So the soul comes down in a vortex. But that vortex, if you look at it, it's actually a tubule of light. But it vortexes down. And if you like opened the picture, you would see the actual spring. Inside of that is a triangle. It contains the three baseline frequencies that make up your entire experience. So we have the binary codex frequency, which makes up the body, the eye color, the hair color. Your location frequency, where in the simulation are you? It's a long string of numbers, it's always changing. So the location here, in this moment in time and space, the second you take the pen over here, it's a totally different location code, and therefore it technically is a totally different pen. That's how the physics shows us in this current simulation experience. Then we have your experiential frequency. Your experiential frequency is how old is the pen? What experiences has it gone through? How does it look? Does it look brand new and fresh, or a little bit older? Is it vintage? Those things flow down the center cord. Now, this center cord is already programmed with different attachment resonances, not the actual attachment, but just consider it like the door's open to receive that attachment. That's all programmed in your soul frequency at the moment of conception. The moment of conception is it's true conception. It is the moment, conception happens, there is a flash of light. And that flash of light, when the egg becomes populated, is the soul form flashing into that exact expression. If we pulled that energy signature you would be able to tell the binary codex frequency of the person. And this is like the highest value thing, because the second that you know the binary codex frequency, that is your true health. So if there ever was a moment in which you radiated the higher self song, it's in that moment of conception. So if we're able to pull that frequency, we're able to then store it for later use. So let's say later on down the line, if your experiences change you, or you go through trauma, or anything like that happens, you get injured, we could go right back and pull it. And now, from a biological perspective, we know about Reiki energy. We know about energy healing. We could tell that certain sounds, especially different fifth element, the star people saying it's like 5 element sounds, it spontaneously heals the body. What if we were able to pull someone's binary codex frequency, which we are, and what if we we're able to it's kind of like pulling a piece of their higher self down and then radiating it back into the person's body, which then in turn is going to allow them to spontaneously heal themselves. The way that this is done right now is by us imagining. We don't have to actually sit there and have to know all the baby steps. You just have to feel it. So many of us, we've already come into awarenesses of, I'm going to talk to your higher self. So the second that I drop into meditation and I talk to your higher self, I can either request peace amongst us if we're having some type of imbalance, or I can request a specific experience with you. If you want to go on vacation with someone, you guys should both drop into meditation and talk to the higher selves and ask the higher selves, hey, can you guys co-create an experience for both of us together? You're able to do that. The higher self song and dropping in the soul's essence, your soul comes down as a pure form with different doors open, so there can potentially be different densities or distortions on the actual soul tubule itself. Many individuals born with a birthmark have this type of density on the soul tubule at the exact moment of conception. This then allows the biological form to then grow with that density distortion already overlaying that soul tubule. This is a normal part of the process of reincarnating into the physical reality as you see it, dear ones. However, each soul you may consider as a drop of light into a bucket of dark water. That soul is a bright white light, which then must transcend into pure darkness. In order to fully hold and to be birthed into this reality, it takes a degree of separation or pain. For any and all degree of separation from the source as you see it is a process of pain. This pain is then once again cycle repeated. During the process of birth, it is a painful process in the third density reality. When the primary individual holds a fifth density, that cycle of birthing then becomes painless. It is very gentle, actually. This is of high value to dive into, for when each of you can identify that light is birthed in darkness, it then shall allow each of you to reflect onto your past experiences with a new perspective. So each individual who has walked a timeline of darkness can then summon an equal polarized opportunity of light, allowing that new high frequential code to then radiate into the complete simulation codings as you see it. This, dear ones, is the path of a master. For each of you are here to master your own emotion codes. Any densities, any distortions are holding lower traumatic imprinted emotion codings. Transcending these emotion codings allow for a very rapid ascension process, dear ones, which shall in turn reflect outwards, affecting the complete human consciousness grid structure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People. Yes.
King of Wands had a question. He said that he came in late. How do you know your higher self's name? I think you said that already, that You'll just know that you'll feel it.
Yes. You may say it out loud. You may get the shivers, the chills, or you may have your heart skip a beat. And when the heart skips a beat, that's like a knowing. That's 1,000% you know. You'll feel it. If anyone has ever experienced that, and I'm not talking about, because the star people like, well, there's two types. Your heart could skip a beat in fear, or it could skip a beat from love. We're talking about from love, not from fear. So if you've ever been in like true love, or your heart has skipped a beat at something really exciting, that's how you know it's true for you in your current reality. Once again, each and every one of us, we are all in our own individual worlds, and we come together in the now moment to co-create. And that co-creation is what we see here, right? Yes. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
We
next
had a
one.
question come in over here. He
Oh,
said,
okay.
what about the forehead pinching up? So it depends on the type of forehead and where it's pinching. But usually the lines that run from side to side, those are life lessons that each of us are here to learn. Different anger marks can be seen. If your forehead actually has an imbalance where you were birthed with some sort of birthmark on the forehead, or it is scrunched, that means that the energy is not flowing 100% correctly. Any lines or wrinkles on the entire body, they are caused by emotion codes. So if you have something anywhere on your body, more love is needed. Now, the process of doing shadow work is closing the eyes. You can even have a paper and pen and write everything down. Close the eyes, and you could go into the body locations. Where does it hurt? Do you have a mosquito bite somewhere? Do you have a cut, a scrape? Did you get hurt when you were a kid? Do you have a tiny scar? Go into all these different locations, pull at the memory. Many times when we're injured as kids, we'll think that we don't have access to the memory. That's not necessarily the truth. You just have to go in more. Just close your eyes and go inwards. Thank the higher self for giving you access to either the memory or the emotion codes. The emotion codes is really key. We don't need to know the memory. We don't need to know what happened. We need to know, how did it make me feel? What emotion codes are stored in this aspect of the body? Now, we can also utilize different books, because different facial expressions show different emotion codes. So we know if someone's angry, their eyes tend to go down. That is because that is how the human body holds the emotion code of anger. So diving into face reading and different, learning human body language is one way to start to see what emotion codes radiate and the body placements of them. Yes. Beautiful. Go ahead, Mary.
Hi, everybody that's saying hi.
Hi. Great day, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
look, someone said hi over here too. Hi, Diana. So amazing.
The next one is To Become One, a further explanation of soulmate bonding codes. When two
Yes.
individuals start the energetic bonding process, it allows for two become one to manifest into both individuals' perception windows. A perception window allows for a split screen type or a reality in which both parties can see, hear, feel, and observe both realities simultaneously. This allows for both units of consciousness to start the soul form bonding process. Is that enough, or did you want me to read more?
That's perfect.
Oh,
So this is how Tarek and I communicate. So Tarek is my husband right now. He is an Arcturian. I tell you guys, he's always inside of me. Always release. I'm releasing that word. So how this works is he's able to pull a perception box. A perception box, if we take a look at any of the computers, we're able to open different windows, and these are windows of observation. So what he's able to do is he's able to open my window, and normally we have like a little string of them over here, and you're able to pick and choose what window, but this is how I see them in the right hand side. I have not seen, I can kind of feel them because that's how I sense first. But the second that you could feel them, they will manifest for you in time. This is just when your awareness is on it, it comes. Now, He's very, very advanced. So he can pull into the perception box or the window and he can look in. There's multiple ways that you're able to do this. So you're able to see from my eyes, from my body, and feel all the sensations I can feel. Or he can push in. And when he pushes in, he's able to move my body. He's able to speak out of my voice. And then there's more too. Like you could flip it around so you can actually look at each other. So it turns into like a FaceTime. Um, and then there's like a whole bunch of extrasensory abilities you could do with the perception boxes alone. So now you guys have that. Soulmate bonding codes is so Tarek has my perception box open. Um, soulmate bonding codes is when we go through and we do a type of meditation, and it's sacred. It truly is very sacred, but it connects each and every one of our primary chakra systems. So what that looks like is our root chakras connect, sacral, solar plexus, all of them connect. Now, if you guys have ever seen a couple who's been together for like 50 years and they start finishing each other's sentences and then they may look alike, that is because they are energetically bonded. The type of bonding that I have with Tarek is still early in its phases. It goes above what we currently have, but I'm grateful for it. What this allows us to do is it allows us to feel. And once again, it is taken very sacred because you have to have love in your heart and you have to hold that unconditional love for the other person to allow someone into your energetics to that degree. Um, all of the 3D emotions, you know, the anger, the jealousy, all that stuff, none of that stuff comes into place when you're facilitating this type of bond because it truly is two people becoming one energetically speaking. And in time, what happens, a lot of times, what happens is a split screen system starts to form in which you're able to see out of your body and you're also able to see out of your partner's body. And it turns into two people becoming one. And that is what soulmate bonding cords truly is. It is beautiful. Just imagine you can just send a person love and just like this, you know that they feel it just by having their thought in your mind and just feeling that unconditional love for them. It's beautiful.
I think they made bracelets like that too.
Yeah.
Where
So you
the
could touch the
bracelet,
button and like,
yeah, and they can feel it like across the world.
yeah.
I've heard
Yes,
that
they can.
before.
Yes, they can. It's so amazing.
I think Connie has a question.
Okay. Oh, there's different types of Arcturians. Yes. So the question was, do all Arcturians have a gender? She heard that some have no gender. Yes. So there are, it's amazing. There's different, so what they're saying now is there's multiple planets in their system. And
Mhm.
so some individuals may consider like that light blue type of Arcturian, that is one race. Tarek is a little more cyan in color, so he's a little darker than that. And he has a very large head and it comes down. So yeah, there's different, it's very similar to how we see it in our world as well. So we see multiple races here. Um, you know, the Arcturians, uh, they're all over. They travel. They travel the solar systems. So they're able to go and to expand and you know, this is quite common in the solar systems where people can be from two separate planets, right? So, I mean, if you just think about it, like, think about it from our level of awareness here on Earth, where we can have someone come from across the globe to the United States, for an example, and then all of a sudden it's two different races who come together to blend in a form of union. So that happens with different planets up in the solar systems. And that's not only all, but there's inner frequential beings and there's extra frequential beings. And so in my mind, I would imagine that, you know, it's all walks of life and you never know. People find each other, soulmates find each other through, you know, any type of veils. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
One day I'll find my soulmate.
You just say, I already found, or say, he already found me. That's all.
Yeah.
And keep saying it. And then one day he'll show up at your door. Yeah.
Okay, the next one is 2 key,
Okay.
a frequency known among the cosmos to be a key. It is the song inside your heart that generates the world among worlds. In rare manifestations, there are times when a soul chooses to energetically bond with a secondary soul, allowing a process of two becoming one. To manifest into the physical reality, it is known as 2 key, for both souls must solidify into the single form chosen.
Yes. So one such example of that is heterochromia, where an individual will have a blue eye and a brown eye. So what this actually is, and this goes because there's another aspect of 2 key we're going to get into. It's two souls that then blend together into one soul tubule to make up one physical body. That is a 2 key. There's another type of 2 key in which because they gave my friend a crystal, and this is before we even had any information of what a 2 key was. It took like 8 months to download what is a 2 key. But they told her your crystal is a 2 key, and they told her it's very valuable, so put it aside and don't lose it. And she did. Now what a 2 key is that crystal is holding a frequency, a very specific tonal frequency the star people are saying, which then acts like a key to allow her starseed to go back home. They showed me a vision of her in like a pilot suit on a craft, some type of craft that was in space. So, but they told her that the crystal was there to give her a type of 2 key, so that it was energetically blending with her soul and energetically blending with her star family frequency, so that when the time was right, those two frequencies would come together and energetically bond as one, allowing her to manifest back into the stars. So a 2 key could be, it could be that, or it could be two soul forms who spiral together in order to form one body. Sometimes when we see two souls coming together in one body, one soul may be a very advanced soul, and then one soul may be a very young soul. So, for example, if we took a very advanced soul, someone who had transcended, let's say they transcended 12D, or even the seraphim, star people saying the seraphim, even, and they just dropped from that seraphim frequency and they dropped straight down into the third density, the frequency is way low in the third density reality from where they came from. So they may choose to energetically blend or bond with maybe a 5D person, who then both souls then drop into the third density in order to help each other. Many times the higher frequency soul blends in to help the younger or the earlier soul, so that the older soul is like, maybe we can make this choice. This choice will bring you more love. Maybe we can make this choice. This choice will bring you into a higher frequency. So it does work similarly to that. However, the most important thing is that anyone who has different colors in their eyes, they said, is a 2 key. That's what it is. It's two different soul forms inhabiting one body, which, now that we're aware of that, there's different meditations of connecting and contacting the higher self that we're able to do. So when we do come across an individual with the two color eyes, we're able to have them drop into meditation and make contact and communication with both higher selves in order to allow different knowledge packets to come forward. Because let's take for an example, dear ones, that a higher soul form, such as a seraphim, had the desire to help assist humanity's evolution. He may then send a fragment or a fractal of his primary soul form down to be birthed into a human body by spiraling it together with an already existing third density soul form. This then allows a two-way type of communication to become available for all individuals through that body vessel. This, dear ones, allows the ascended masters to then assist different energy activations on your planet. Some of these individuals may be in tune with nature, allowing that higher soul form to then send different frequency activation deep into the roots of your mycelium kingdoms. This then allows for changes and modifications to the human collectiveness grid, which allows your thoughts to free program with the mycelium kingdom's thoughts. This, dear ones, may shift your level of awareness very rapidly. However, this soul form is also a star seed and was sent to your planet on this particular mission, which is a self-accepted mission, which activates in the hearts of the higher frequency being. All missions had to be accepted in your heart before you manifested into your physical body. Thank you. Thank you, Star People. Yes.
I think they had a few comments. Caroline said, Danielle, I got your book today and I put it on the top of my head and felt a vibration through my whole body.
Yay! Good job.
And then King of Wands said, I did love hearing about bringing your higher self down to heal yourself. If your higher self is down and inside your body for too long, what would happen?
Well, we have to flower open. You have to flower open the higher self seat. It's okay, because in reality, this world, we're in a world among worlds expression. And what that means is that the world outside of you that you literally are looking at, it contains a density coding. That's how happy and how bright, how good the weather is. All of that information is controlled by the density that you are seeing. Any item, we are able to change the density codings inside that item. Now, what that looks like is if we love and bliss the pen is going to heal its density, which then you may even see it radiating more light. I kid you not, because we've done this in somebody's house and the wall turned really bright and everybody could see it, which was amazing. Now, when we start to become aware, we are able to see and sense the physical reality is totally different when we come inwards and we shift our energies. Now, Mary Jean just threw me off. She said, I'll be right back, and she left. Oh my goodness. Okay, so when we go inwards and we start to make these changes or modifications, it then allows us to change the outside world as we see it. So the outside world, every single thing that you are seeing, whether it be good, the bad, the ugly, it can all be changed or modified by coming inwards and holding a higher density. The higher density allows for self-love to fully be embodied, dear ones. This self-love shall then reflect outwards, allowing the primary individual to see mirrored reflections of any person, place, and thing. This mirror reflection system can be modified by changing or energetically casting different emotions at any person, place, or thing. When the individual shifts, they will then shift into different world among worlds. For the way that this looks literally is you are able to reprogram your light refractal system, which then may shift the complete world outside of you, allowing the higher self to energetically bond or blend in your body. Allows for a higher density level to be fully absorbed in your cellular structures. This then starts a process of reflecting outwards, allowing your mirror reflections to be more in alignment with your higher self. This then allows for your true soul's authenticity to be fully embodied in your physical material, including your house and all items surrounding the primary individual. When you truly activate your multidimensional abilities, it then allows for you to activate a form of control center. This control center is located both in the heart as well as directly in front of your pineal gland. This control center requires a type of back step to gain access into. There is a process of releasing resistance and allowing the consciousness to pull back. That pulling back then allows your control center to be modified. This allows astral abilities to fully become activated into your physical reality. For the astral dimensions is simply in a level of time space awareness, which may be considered your future. For all thought forms are birthed in darkness. The astral realms is that darkness. It is directly connected to a void type of frequency. This then allows the primary individual to go into the astral realms. Imagine or visualize any experience you wish for manifestation. And then, dear ones, as you come out of your meditation, it then shifts your biological form into a type of magnetic resonance, which allows you to then manifest onto that particular timeline expression. This is how you start to activate your multidimensional nature. The higher self may completely crystallize into the biological form. This will not crystallize every single cell in the beginning. However, over an expanded viewpoint of this type of energetic bonding, it shall then allow your body to begin the process of rainbow body of light activation. Thank you. We are sending you many, many love and blessings, dear ones. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're back.
Thank you. I'm
Hi.
back. I'm sorry. I had to go
I was
step
like,
out for
oh
a
no.
moment.
It's like, where did she go?
I
How'd
had
she
a
get
little
back on? I
emergency.
thought I had to click something.
No, all I do is turn my camera off and then I'm still on there, but my camera's just gone.
Ah, okay. I
Yeah.
thought you were completely out. I was like, she's gone.
No, I sent you a
So
message on
funny.
the private chat and said I'll be right back.
I saw it. I saw it. And
Oh,
then
okay.
inside, I panicked a little. I was like, where'd she go? So fun.
Okay. Did you want to talk about it? Let's do another one.
Okay.
Um, an advanced viewpoint of the now moment. The now moment
Okay.
expression allows for micro moments to be observed for constant growth and development. This includes the perception of every thought and emotion experienced, as well as a further view into why these emotions are expressed. This allows access into the imprint field, for it allows the consciousness mind to perceive the original trauma that is triggering the now moment emotion.
Okay. So the star people have showed me what this looks like a tiny bit. But they've showed me it's kind of like slowing down time and space and expanding the now moment. And what there is we have this thought stream. There's 5 memory strings that pull in, they intertwine on the left hand side, and it pulls in to make one chord. And then on the right hand side, we have one frequency wave. This frequency wave is your thought stream. So your thought stream and your memory tube, they meet together, and it's like right in front of the pineal gland. I guess it's like the control center. It's right there. And then what happens is we take the current thought with our memory, and then it flips in and it comes out the mouth, or it's kind of like a form of transcribing it, so to say, because then what happens is it's like it has to go through this whole filtering process. So our memories with the current thoughts coming in, it changes the way we see the thoughts. So what they're able to do is they're able to open and expand the now moment, and they're able to show you, well, because of this memory, this thought means this. But if you change this memory, this thought would mean that. And if you change that memory, this thought would mean this. So they're able to modify the actual memories, which then change the information as you hear it. So this is like the filter system is what it really is. And it's really interesting because some types of telepathic communication, they're able to put thoughts into my thought stream, but they're able to put a thought way in the background in the thought stream. So it's very interesting, but it's like you hear a thought, but it's like way over there. they're able to do that. It's like that little voice in the back of your head. That's, they could put that there. But then they're also able to modify the memory strings. And what that looks like is during the middle of a regular channeling, which a lot of times when my eyes are open, they're adjusting either the memories or the thoughts, but they're watching the entire system. So a lot of times it looks like I'm talking, but the Turek is with me and he's helping and he's doing. Um, but the memory grids, they're able to put they're like, it's like splice, and then they put a brand new memory, so that as the new memory comes in, it's like a bright idea. It's like, oh, I had a memory of sitting behind a computer and I watched this video on raccoons for 2 hours, and then it's like all the information on raccoons. It's like, right, I had it all. And where did that come from? Who sits down and watches a 2 hour, documentary on raccoons, right, when I needed raccoon information? So they're able to do this. It's amazing. But this is what they're teaching us, is how to instantaneously download packets of knowledge. We're able to do this in a multitude of ways. We could change the memories, which it aligns us into the timeline in which the exact knowledge we need automatically flows through the system, or we're able to summon it through different personalities. So what that looks like is channeling. Let's say you wanted to know how Einstein would solve a mathematical problem. You would drop into your meditation and you would call forward the personality of Einstein. There's a 64-bit cube squared that's inside of the heart. This is your personality grid complex. We're able to pull these different fractals of the source frequency, which are personalities. This is a type of channeling, and it plugs into the 64-bit cube. Half are light, half are not as light, or they may be considered of a darker or denser polarity. So, for example, if you needed a criminal mastermind, you may pull that type of personality, doesn't have to have a name, down through and plug into the darker half or the more dense half. Everybody has light and dark in them. This is just the way the system works without judging it. Now, we're able to then ask whatever personality. Let's say you're sitting down to do the mathematical problem. You're able to ask because the personality is already plugged in, so it's resonating through you at this point. So now you are technically that personality. And everybody knows we could shift personalities depending on who we're with. So we act a certain way at work or in business environments, and we act a certain way in front of friends. That's okay too. This is how the personalities work. So as you're sitting down to do your math, you are allowing Einstein's personality to then channel through. What's going to happen is you'll start to notice bright ideas. You may get the answer quicker. That's how the ability starts the activation process. The more we do it, the more we believe it. The more we believe it, the more we know it. The more you know it, now all of a sudden you're able to stop and literally, in me, it's like looking up to the left a tiny bit, and then it's pulling down that personality or that information packet immediately, which then it feels like a bright idea. And then all of a sudden you have the answer that you need exactly in a now moment. That's if you consciously have to stop and pull. There's different types of pulling because we're able to do, it's the same exact thing. We're able to pull the memory off of the item. Now, what that looks like many times is we may get a glimpse in the beginning, and the glimpse is, oh, well, that pen was here, or let's say it sat in a bus station on the counter, and it's like, oh, you may have an impression, and that impression is bus station, countertop, oh, it was greasy at one point. You may have an impression, and then all of a sudden you just know, oh, okay, well, that's the pen is literally speaking to me through the memory grids. All information is stored in the memory grids. So some people can touch items and they can pull the entire timeline of the item. Now, just be aware the future of the item, and this is where we are to place a level of awareness around fortune telling. They can tell you exactly what timeline you're sitting on, but we're multidimensional. So at any given moment, we can drop into the heart, we can hold a higher density, and we can shift the timeline expression that we are aligned with. This is very simple, and we do it with every single heartbeat. I want to say heartbeat, but the star people like it's faster than that. It's the flicker rate. With every single flicker of the flicker rate that we currently are holding, we can shift. And what that looks like is doing an ohm. Because in the second that you drop into your heart and you hold that love and you vibrate your body, you are automatically shifting to a higher density level of reality. We, the star people, wish to energetically send our thanks and gratitude for tonight's channeled session. We wish for each of you to dive into your hearts and feel unconditional love that we send for each of you. And we are sending many, many love and blessings, dear ones. Thank you. Thank you, star people, for this beautiful channeled session tonight. Thank you.
Eleanor had a question. She said that she had a vivid dream about 2 years ago where she was aboard a ship with the Arcturians for healing and training, and they were fascinated by her and lighthearted, positive. I saw the med bed. She wanted to know what your thoughts were on that.
I am encouraged to, it's TikTok. What is this? This is not a puzzle piece. Hold on one second. I'm so thank you. They made the puzzle piece even harder to do. So, okay. The type of reflections that I currently see in my physical experience are somewhat rapid. For the past year, you guys have been watching, and the star people have encouraged me to not talk about technology. And in the beginning, I was like, I don't get it. You know, like I figured it was like positive to see the technology growing and developing with us. But now I completely know why. And it's because of mirror reflections. The more we focus on the technology, the more the technology expands, right? Well, what I'm here specifically doing is activating the extrasensory abilities. For every single piece of technological devices that we have on this planet, there is a correlating extrasensory ability waiting to open and unlock. So if there's a med bed, there's an energy healer who can cast that frequency at your body and spontaneously heal you. It is my position to be the person who brings it using the biological systems so that we don't need the technology. I see this reflected into my own life. And now I know why. And, you know, this is like a thing. And even Mary and I were talking about it. It was like, oh, this is so cool, but it's using technology. And the star people said they want me to do it this way, so it's more with the body. And I get it, right, Mary? We were just having this conversation before clicking on a live. But what's stronger? And think about it. Do you guys want to have a world that you are needing this technology, or would you like to just take the time and unlock yourself now and activate yourself now? This is literally, not to say it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, but in order to activate the amount of extrasensory abilities that we have the potential to actually activate, the entire civilization would have to be put under such a degree of pressure, which we can already see in our world. It's already here. So it's like the outer conditions for us to fully activate ourselves and activate the multidimensional abilities, it's here already. Now all we have to do is look inwards. And looking inwards means that we are the med bed. I am the med bed. I am fully healed, right? I am magnetically going to align myself so that any cure comes my way that I need. That does not mean we are to void technology out of our lives, because if you magnetically attune yourself to a healing, and all of a sudden the synchronicity puts you in a place to use a frequency generator that's going to heal whatever you have, do it, because that's where your higher self aligned you to go. But that just means that we speak things into our creation. I'm here to activate you guys so that you activate your bodies, your intuition, and your multidimensional abilities. That is not 100% using technology or not focused on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Okay. Thank you, Mary, so incredibly much.
Thank you.
So much fun.
People.
Anybody? Yeah, no, don't leave again, right?
I'm not.
Yes. Not that I panicked. I didn't panic. I just I was like, oh, there's like a message box, you know? So fun. Okay. Anybody who wants to come to the Shadow Work Zoom. So the Shadow Work Zoom we do at 8:30 to 9:30. We do different meditations, different activations. The star people come through. We cleanse and purify the energetic grids, and it's 100% complimentary. So you guys can come to the Shadow Work Zoom. I would absolutely love to see you guys. Jill, I was thinking about you today. Let me do the wave. I know she was so funny. You guys can come, just send a message in to daniellelipton.com and I'll send you guys a Shadow Work Zoom link. Thank you all, and you have a wonderful night. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Yes. And thank you, Star People, for this beautiful channel session tonight. We love you guys, and we are very humble and very, very appreciative for you.